I would recommend Perry. I'd recommend him to other schools, other organisations that have young people there, whether it's youth clubs, but certainly in a school setting. I wouldn't just say mainstream school setting as well. We could be talking alternative provision, we could be talking PRUs, pupil referral units. I think Perry has got the skill set where he can go in and he can support and really guide even some of the most challenging students, some that might even have made the mistake of being permanently excluded from a mainstream school. I think that again, it's part of his skill set, so yes, I'd definitely recommend him. And I think he really does, he has that ability to support young people, almost that social mobility really, to support some of the students, whether it's anxiety, mental health issues, and just getting them into school, whether it's helping them with their progress and their studies, or actually whether it's drilling down into some of the issues that our students face where they're heavily gang affiliated, much more extreme community issues and issues like that really do impact a lot of our young people. So I would certainly recommend Perry to be working in other places. Yeah. I'll give one specific example of how a really challenging situation that Perry saw to and mentored could have gone drastically wrong, and it really kind of highlights again his professionalism, his resilience, very much so, his ability to not take anything personally but want to persevere with dealing with a really challenging situation. So we had 4 students, 3 Year 8 girls, 1 Year 9 girl, and a really toxic breakdown. I wouldn't even say friendship groups, I'd say a real toxic breakdown in relationships. And we thought that actually to try and do a restorative meeting between the 4 would be worthwhile. Really challenging situation for Perry. And it went slightly left field. And Perry had the session with them. I came over and supported. There was a couple of students in particular that had completely dysregulated in terms of their emotions, their behaviour. 2 students that were there to try and be a positive influence on the other 2, but not really helped the matter. A really challenging, quite explosive situation, and 1 girl in particular who completely dysregulated was then not even responding to a number of other colleagues. Now, a lot of people in that situation actually would have perhaps tried to make excuses, or said they didn't want to see those young people again, and with Perry it was just the complete opposite. I got the most detailed report that allowed us to really try and put in place, in some cases, actually some serious sanctions because the girls needed that, but also actually alongside more ongoing trauma-informed approach and support, and really looking at their needs and what needed to happen now moving forward if they ever were to, 1, be in the same school again, but secondly, be successful in mainstream. And it was just invaluable. Perry stayed after, we spoke about the situation, we stayed speaking to 1 girl in particular. He immediately offered his services and said that he wanted to carry on working with these young people. 1 of the girls he sees every single Monday, and he's built a really positive, strong relationship with her. And she is a really challenging, complex, but very, very personable young woman. And so just that approach of Perry, not to run away from the situation, not to show a lack of resilience, not to take anything personally, but to learn from it. It takes quite a big person, actually, to be strong enough to think, wow, that was a phenomenally challenging situation. How would I do that differently? How could we have done it? I said to Perry, actually, dynamics-wise, maybe I should have just referred 2. I thought the other 2 would be a positive influence. So it was a learning curve for me as well, and us as a school, but just it was built on positively because of Perry's approach, his professionalism, and his absolute desire and determination to carry on working with these young people, and not just to think, I'm having nothing to do with them now, because that situation wasn't a good situation. Quite the opposite. He wanted to give even more support to them moving forward, and he wanted to make sure that he was there for them.